Good morning, y'all. This is Tim. Today working on the homestead slash farm. What are we up to today? Well, I'm sitting in my skid steer. That is a poplar log. It's about 15 feet long, right from the beginning all the way from our property. Now you see our fencing around our house, and then that section back there that's new, we have to cut boards for that section of fence. So this little section, I like it. It's fairly recent. It looks good. That back section was too big. We're claiming some of the backyard and turning that into pasture because we need pasture for our animals more than we need a nice big yard. When you live on a big piece of land, you just need a little run for your dogs to keep them safe, and then the rest needs to be for your animals. So that's kind of how we're doing this. We have Trooper's kennel right there. We have to paint that building eventually, but then we put a new line of fencing, and we have to cut slats on the sawmill with this log to match that. So let's start cutting wood. I'm trying to figure out how to do this single-handedly. It's really not possible. You always want the skinny side to be towards the motor, because that's where you start. Because now you have to make extra cuts. All right, I think that's about where I want it. I need my hands. We got the first log on the sawmill since over a year ago. I think the last logs we sawed or we milled were for Mr. Steve, his bridge. No, his tractor enclosure. So occasionally I I mill lumber for customers. Again, I don't have time for these kind of projects, but I love this. This is therapeutical for me. I absolutely love it. This logs actually came from this little hill right here behind us, where you see some tree tops, and so I wanted to cut as much of the materials I need on the farm to build chicken coops, goats houses, fencing off the property, and saw and mill it myself. And so that's kind of what this is going to be. We're going to cut these logs into 1x6. So we're going to do actually 5/4. So true 1x6s. And so that's kind of what we're going to do. Poplar are usually extremely straight logs in comparison to everything else. So we are going to bolt it down. Actually, I just remembered I need to put my water tank up here with some soapy water. But yeah, let's try to figure this out. So the theory with sawmilling is this is the thick side, so it doesn't really apply. We have to start on this thin side, but the power head is in the way. So I'm going to kind of give you guys a little sawmilling lesson. So this log is roughly 16 by 15. So it's 15 with the sapwood, okay, and the bark. So I should have no problem cutting a 12 by 12 timber out of this. A log is this, timber is big cuts, big square cuts, and anything smaller than that is lumber. I should be able to cut a 12 by 12 and maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 more 1x's on the sides, but it's a lot harder to mill with the bark on it because there's no flat side. So if I make a flat side, it's a whole lot easier to maneuver. So we're going to try to do as follows, right? If this is 12, and this is 12, This is 12 and this is 12. And then we're gonna cut it in half and then just cut a bunch of boards that way. And I should be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 14 boards out of this. Now these sections, this you turn into firewood. Or you could use it for fencing for pigs and something that's with the bark on it. The bark eventually peels off. You can see it's already starting to laminate. So we'll try to figure this out. So this is waste, and this is the log. Oh, I have to turn the water off. There's a series of habits I need to create as I do this. They say there's two kind of two kind of sawmill operators. One that has hit his stops and has cut into his anchors, and one who is about to. And then there's the pride and joy of having a log. I mean, dude, go buy a log. Go buy a timber that's 12 by 12. For any kind of log cabin you want to build, this log is going to cost hundreds of dollars. Or you buy a sawmill, make an investment and cut all your own stuff. Just saying, you know, get yourself one. So we got two 12 by 6 beams that are about 16 feet long, 15 feet long. Now we're gonna cut 1-inch boards all the way down. That will give us 22 boards. Now, some of them are not gonna be useful, at least for this. So these have the bark on them. So those have to be cut down to, 1x4s for other things like stickers, to stack wood, etc. The first project we're going to build with this material is fencing around my house. Already put 7 feet apart. I put 4x4s with sheep and goat wire fencing. And this is the aesthetics to make it look nice. So I'm gonna do a top rail, a bottom rail, and then an X in between each post. And after that is completed, we're going to build a kiln, K-I-L-N, K-I-L-N, yeah, kiln. And the kiln is going to allow us to dry the lumbers to use for furniture grade stuff. But not this. This can dry outside. It's meant, poplar is actually pretty durable for outside uses. So that's what we're going to do for this one. Want to know what they call this? Man glitter. Yeah. Just don't get it in your mouth. Alrighty, this is the end of the video. We have cut 22 boards like planned. 22 boards of poplar. 14.5 feet long. 1x6s. Now, poplar is considered a hardwood in North America. It's not the same as poplar. This is a tulip poplar. It's a different poplar than in other countries. Or there's different species of poplar, but this is a tulip poplar. In North America, it's considered a hardwood. And it's really good for outdoor use. It is somewhat rot resistant, and it does a nice job for outside structures like a lap board, lap siding, stuff like that. We got 440 board feet of rough sawn poplar. I looked it up just out of curiosity. Today's price, rough cut poplar runs at about $4 a board foot. Let's say $500 worth of wood right here. It's more if I go buy it somewhere else, but it's $500 worth of wood. And I had the wood. This tree grew on this property. It grew 100 feet over that way on that hill, and it's going to stay here until it decays and bugs eat it and it rots. And it's going to provide a beautiful fence for my family. And that's it, folks. I spent about 2.5 hours. I think 2.5 hours at $600 in lumber. That's a pretty darn good price per hour to invest back into the homestead and the farm. So, Tim from Harvest Hills Homes and Homestead. See you on the next one.